bro, look at this. Look at this. Why is this gonna happen, bro? So like this would happen this week, dude. Didn't post last week because this shit happened. So like if you guys look, like they broke into the ATM this week. So I remember how I told you guys like I was gonna sell this ATM route, like freaking in Ventura. Well, for some weird freaking reason, somebody decided to break in to one of my machines and this shit might freaking drop the whole entire deal and like I don't even know what to do and like it's like crazy. So today, basically, what I want to talk to you guys about, because I know a lot of you guys like follow me because of my ATM content, and none of you guys have probably experienced having someone break into your machine. And I know a lot of you guys are trying to get into the business or want to get into the business, or like what happens like when somebody breaks into your stuff? Like, is it insured? What happens to the money? What happens to the machine? Or like, well, how do you react? You know? And I don't think there's anyone that's ever made a video like this before. So I figured in like today's video, we're gonna talk about like what you're supposed to do, like what happened, what's like the financial responsibility of everything, the emotional, like all that trauma that goes through your like brain and feelings that you get through like the whole scare of everything, and like pretty much like all the things that most people don't talk about. So like how can you really secure yourself against like things like this, because they happen a lot and they happen very often. And I know a lot of people that lose a lot of money because of things like this. So we'll cover insurances, we'll cover like how to look at this in regards of like, is it worth it? Like, should I still put money into the machine, or should I just like start all over? Or should I just completely stay away from the business in general? And how this is really gonna affect me selling this entire route, because, bro, this is literally gonna kill my deal. Maybe not really, but it's affecting my deal, and like I'm trying to fix it this week to make sure that it doesn't kill my deal, because like I told you guys before, I'm trying to get rid of this business, or I'm trying to get rid of that like route in Ventura, because I'm tired of driving over there, bro. So what happened, bro? Like what happened? And I'm like, first of all, like this location, right? So normally what happens, like this isn't the first time that this has happened to me. Like this has happened to me multiple times. Me personally, they've probably like broken into like two of my machines. My partner who I have, they've broken into a lot of his machines, and I'm pretty sure he's lost over like $30,000 and just like money, not even like machine. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk to you guys about. Like not only do you lose money, but like the machine costs money. And like if you guys look at the picture, there's a lot of things that a regular person can't look at and be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with the machine. But like me looking at it and like inspecting it a little bit, I can tell so many things that are wrong with that machine that cost me money. So how did I find out? You know, normally you do get like a phone call of like someone like, hey, like the store owner telling you like, hey, like someone broke into your machine, like, or like the police calling you. Like the last thing you want is like a policeman calling you like, oh my God, like we found your ATM in the middle of the fucking highway, like come pick it up. So in this incident, like it was in a repair shop. So this is one of my locations in Ventura. It's in an auto repair shop, and even when I like the store owner, because I got this machine location from somebody else at once upon a time, he didn't have my phone number, so there wasn't really a way for me to like get that phone call. So they were just waiting for me, because like they know like, oh, like Chris comes like once a week, so like he's probably gonna be here on a Thursday or Friday. You guys know that you can like scan all of your stuff like in your phone, like you can probably see how much money's in there. And I track my stuff. I try to see like, okay, like how much money's in there. Is there money that's moving and things like that looks a little weird. Well, couple weeks ago, I noticed that the transactions weren't happening, but I'm like, oh, you know, it's like one of my slower locations, because if you guys look at the picture a little closely, there's like two machines in there, right? Which makes this whole entire thing even like suckier in general. So there's another machine in there, because the way I took over this location was the person that had it before wasn't servicing the location. So the store owner got really mad because his business is cash only. And he decided to get another operator in there, and now there's two machines, and he didn't want to kick me out because he's really like, he liked me and stuff. So he's like, all right, like he didn't really have anything to do with it, so like let's just keep both of them, like it's better for him, you know. So there was two machines that actually got broken into, one mine and one of the other guy, but the other guy had it a lot worse than I did. Anyways, he didn't have my phone number, so he couldn't call me. And like I thought it was like, oh, there's nothing wrong, like there's still money in the location, like there's about like 3 grand in there. So I'm like, oh, like it's fine, you know, like I'll go there next week if something doesn't happen. And then next week comes about, and pretty much there's still like little to no there was no transactions in the last 10 days. And I'm like, okay, like for a location like this, and I know they actually push cash, there's something wrong with it, you know. So I went over there, and I'm like, all right, let me just hop in when I go to Ventura and try to take a look at it and see what's going on. So I go in there and then they start looking at me and I'm like, oh shit, something's like up. And then they're all like, dude, we've been trying to reach you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's all like, dude, they broke into the location. I'm like, fuck. Right. I didn't really give like a face reaction because like it's like, bro, it's a regular, it happens. Like it's part of the business. I think they were a little bit more like upset of the whole thing. I mean, the store owner was upset because they broke into a shop and like they destroyed everything. I wish I would have gotten the video for you guys, because he showed me like there's a guy who broke into like the back window and stuff, and he like messed up the entire shop. The whole shop was like, imagine like someone breaking into your house and just throwing all your stuff like all over the place. Like that shit sucked. And he even has the video of like him trying to like broke into like one of the other machines, and then he tried breaking into my machine, but just like he couldn't, like he struggled, but he messed up the machine like with the whole entire like just trying to get the money out of there. So like walking in there, I was like kind of like nonchalant. One, it's like not my money. Two, it's not my machine, but like it's like still sucky, like someone's losing out on this. So I was pretty chill, and they were like, how are you taking this so lightly? First of all, like, like it happens, like it's part of the business. In regards to the machine, there was like $3,000. They weren't able to take the money, which is really, really good thing, because the other machine, that was like a G2500, I believe, and they easily just pulled the thing out and they took all the money from their machine. I don't know how much money they lost, but like not only did they break the machine, but they also like took like maybe 2-3 grand off the machine, so that person lost money. They replaced the machine already. For me, I don't know what's up with these 1500s, these old school like golden machines. Those are 1500s. They are made different. They're built different. Like these guys struggled for an hour. Like they were like, we checked the whole entire like camera, and these guys couldn't open up your machine. Like I don't know what that thing is made of. It's like a tank. So they like tried like putting a stick inside there. That's why if you look closely in the picture, you can see that they were trying to like put a stick in there and trying to like pull the door. And by doing that, they actually messed up a more important piece. Like if it was just a door, bro, I was like, okay, it's just a door, I can replace that. That's nothing. But they broke the CDU, and the CDU is the device that goes into the machine that spits out the money, and that costs money. And then if you look really closely, right, because I like breached a little bit down, I saw like, oh, like the CDU is already messed up. But if then you look at the error code and it says like EPP error, and that's usually like a keypad error. So either one, they messed up the keypad, or two, they just disconnected it. So it's one, it could be a keypad and it could be a CDU. And if you add those together plus the door in itself, you're looking at about like a 15, like almost like I would say like $1,000 like loss, because a CDU costs you about like $400. Another keypad is like another 200, so that's 600. But like breaking into the door, because I couldn't even open it, so now I had to like break into my own machine. So now I'm messing the door. So that door itself is like another like $500. At this point, I'm better off buying a new machine. Like it doesn't even make sense, which makes this whole entire sale so much more complicated, because like why would you even buy this location? Because this location is not even like worthwhile anymore unless you're gonna hold it for a really long time. So I'll talk to you guys numbers more about that in a little bit. The police was involved. Luckily, like they caught the person that actually broke into it. Like I guess that guy dropped some bloods and they ran some DNA tests, and he has um like a history of doing bad shit, so they were easily able to find him. Now he's locked up, and I don't know what they'll do to him. In regards of insurance for this whole entire thing, nobody has insurance when it comes to ATM stuff, and that's what I tell people, because they ask me all the time, like, is it insured? Even the store owners, like, is it insured? Like, no, like my insurance is God, and hopefully and praying that they don't break into these locations. But that's kind of like the risk that you take into it. So like that was the whole situation with this whole entire thing. It was one of the locations that I was planning on selling with the Ventura route, and I think I'm still gonna sell it. Hopefully, like praying like the buyer is not gonna get like cold feet and like look at this like, oh fuck, they broke into machines. Like, well, that's part of the business, bro. Like if you don't want to be part of the business, then you shouldn't even be getting these machines. So what's like the financial responsibility that comes with all these ATM stuff, right? Because like this is your money, this is your machine, this is an investment for you, and you can lose money, bro. Like it's not like just passive income and like money that you're gonna get all the time. Like you will lose money in this business. It's part of business. In any business, you're gonna lose money. And it's just the way the cookie crumbles. So in regards of like who's liable when the ATM is broken, because none of these places have insurance, is you're liable, bro. Like you're liable. Like you're not liable for anything that happens in the store. Like that store owner has insurance, but like for your own machine, it costs you more in probably insurance for an ATM than it will just having your self insurance, which means coming out of pocket. That's why, like, with newer locations, if you have a brand new ATM, like, that can be like a $2,500 to $3,000 loss. Plus, if they take your money, that's another $2,000 to $3,000. That's a $6,000 loss. And this is when the numbers don't even make sense in regards of like whether it's worth your while, because it costs you about $5,000 to get started. If they break into your location, I've said it multiple times, right? Like if you invest into an ATM, it costs you about $5,000 to start. They break into it the next day, which has happened to me. You lose not only the $5,000 and everything that it took. Now you have to restart it, and then that machine barely does $1,000 a year, or maybe $100 a month, or anything. You're gonna take about like 6 years to recoup that money. At that point, you just took an L, bro. Like it doesn't make sense. So, in regards to the money that's in there, like luckily the money's still in there, so I have to break into the machine and get that money. Um, but if they steal your money, like you just take a loss. Luckily you can write it off in your taxes, and that helps. But like that's $3,000 that you can possibly be like losing, and I don't even know if that location does that amount of money for the owner on the other side. Like for me, like looking at it, it does not make sense to put another new machine in there. It makes sense to put an old machine in there, like another 1,500, just because in a year, maybe a year and a half, it'll make my money back. But I'm not trying to be there anymore. Like I'm trying to sell the location. So for me personally, it doesn't make sense. For someone else who wants to be out there, it makes sense because it is a cash only. And the store owner, he's not like scared. Like sometimes when this stuff happens, a lot of the location owners, they get scared. Like they don't want to have an ATM in there, and they're like, oh, like why the hell am I gonna have one if they're gonna keep breaking into my stuff? So no insurances, no deductibles, repair costs. It can be all over the freaking place depending on what they break. I've had machines where like they found it on the highway and the whole entire machine is total. Like there's nothing that I can do besides just keep the parts that are not broken. Like sometimes when you look at these machines and someone broke your stuff, like you have to look at it in a different eye, which most people who are like starting out, they cannot see it. Like for me, when I look at this, I'm seeing like, okay, there's a keypad that works, there's a card reader that works, there's a screen that works, maybe a CDU, maybe a door, but I can take the entire thing and sometimes just get the thing for parts. That's why like having extra machines in your like office or something is gonna make sense when you have the same machines. That's why it's best to stay with the same machine. So like if this stuff happens, you have extra parts. I have another machine like this, so I can swap the entire door, swap the CDU, swap everything that I need to make this thing work again at a fractionable cost. Like for me to repair this is probably gonna cost me like nothing because I have all those parts besides like my time and labor to break into that stuff. But like for a brand new person, like that's a door, that's a like, I ran you. That's like about $1,000. Like it depends on what's broken. In regards to revenue, like it's down, so like I'm losing money as well that people don't realize. Like downtime, like I'm losing money every single time that it's not like up and running. In regards of affecting the evaluation, right? Like, well, it's not doing transactions, but luckily, like the numbers I gave that person, like, have been like based on the last 6 months, so that's not really like too much of an issue. So that covers pretty much all the financial stuff. There is no insurance. There is nobody that's gonna be responsible for this. Like, you lose money basically. Like, you just take a fat L. That's it. Like, you take a fat L. That's part of like running business. That's part of like investments in general. Like you are just gonna take an L. And if you don't want to take an L and you don't want to lose $5,000 because you want the whole world to be perfect, like it doesn't work that way, dude. You're gonna take risk. You're gonna lose money, and that's just part of it. And if you don't want that, then don't be a business owner. Don't start an ATM business because this thing is risky as hell. But sometimes the returns on the cash is good. Depends. It all depends on your risk and your risk tolerance when it comes to all this stuff. So the emotional reality that I felt when it came to all of this stuff was like the first thing that hit me was like, bro, I'm literally in the middle of selling this whole entire route over there. Why did it have to be one of these, right? How is it going to scare the person that's trying to buy this location? Is it going to like freak them out? Is it going to completely cancel? Am I going to have to take a deal that's for less than that? Or like what's going to happen? I'm not a liar. I hate liars. In the business world, there's a bunch of liars. So like, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna tell him, bro. If he doesn't want it, he doesn't want it. I'll give the location to somebody else. It's still worth something, like the contract itself, even if he doesn't have the ATM. So I told him, I'm like, hey, like this is what happened. Like if you want it, you want it. Then if you don't, then let's just take it out of the deal. Like it's like $2,000 less of the deal. And he's all like, you know what, like, I'll give you two something, whatever. And at one point, we kind of negotiated, but at that point, I'm all like, you know what, I'd rather just go do the work for $2,000 more of the deal. I'll go do the work. I'll break into it. I'll fix it. And honestly, I've been trying to fix it since like last Friday. I couldn't. I'm gonna go back there this week to try to fix it this week, and it should be done. But that's a lot of work. Like for someone that doesn't know what they're doing, is barely beginning, and doesn't know how to fix these things, it probably would have taken him a lot longer to fix than me going out there and fixing myself. So, um, he kind of took it very well. Like I kind of try to ease him into it. That's part of like the selling process, is trying to like make sure that these people are comfortable with like, assuring them that they're gonna buy it. He did want to go ahead and see all of the locations. So like I am selling Ventura, my locations in Ventura, and I'll talk about all those numbers in another video. So you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I'm telling you guys how like I'm doing all this stuff, and I share all my numbers with you guys so you guys can see it. And what you guys should look out for and all that stuff. So I'm gonna sell my ATM Ventura locations hopefully by the end of like next week, and we are no longer gonna be driving all the way to Ventura because that thing is getting annoying. So I don't think it's gonna scare him off altogether, but it's just like really bad timing. Like why is it gonna happen right now, bro? Like I don't understand it. Like I didn't ask for this. I've been a good freaking person right now. Like I've been really doing good things. I have not done anything bad. But it is what it is, dude. So, in regards of like, how can you avoid like this happening to you, right? Like, how can you avoid it? There's security measures that you can do to the location, like obviously like bolting it down, like making sure that thing's bolted. Which honestly, the thing that these dumb robbers weren't even thinking about is that this location is actually not even bolted. Like if they were smart, you could have just moved the ATM and taken it with you. Like that was the easiest part, and they could have broken into it on their own time. But they were just dumb robbers, really, because they broke into the other one. They thought they were easily going to be able to break into this one, and they could have just picked it up and gone. But whatever. But bolt your locations, meaning drill them into the concrete, make sure that they're safe. That's one thing. That doesn't work all the time because even for the location next door, like they just easily like just broke into it, and then they just took all the money. There's things that we have done in our side of the business, like we have like special security things for like our really high locations that we put inside the CDU, and we can put on the outside, so when they try to like drill into it, like they won't actually be able to get into it, and it'll take them like almost you'll be stuck there. By the time the cameras catch you and the security like people come, like you'll be done. Like it doesn't make sense. In regards of like, you probably seen videos of like people wrapping like ropes around these ATMs and like taking them trucks. That still happens all the time. It's happened to like my partner multiple times, and bro, like that's just part of the deal, bro. Like that's why like I'm not trying to scale so much anymore, because when you have like over 50 locations, over 100 locations, you are more vulnerable to like having your stuff robbed. And that's just part of the business. Like I've seen my partner last year take so many L's and just robberies after robberies after robberies every single week. And at one point he lost like almost like $15,000 in just 1 week. And I'm like, dude, like that sucks. Luckily for my locations, some of them are in like really like prime locations where I think it's rare that it's gonna happen, but knock on wood that it doesn't. But that's just part of the risk. You can only do so much. In regards of insurance, like I said, there's no insurance. You can't like insure anything. Like just take a big fat L. In regards of risk versus return, like is it worth it, bro? Like is it worth it? Because people ask me like, is it worth it to still put your money in there and still run the risk of somebody like robbing you? And I would say hands down, it depends. It depends on the location, right? Like say this location. You can use this location for prime. Like this location makes you about $1,200 a year, right? You have to look at numbers when it comes to the ATM business in years, not months, but in years. One location makes me $1,200. The cost of a brand new machine can be anywhere from $1,200 for the same one or $2,500 for the new one. If it takes me $1,200 in 1 year, then 2 years I'll make $2,400. I'm barely breaking even on like a brand new location, so that location will not make money until like year 3. I'm trying to get out of that location, so I'm not trying to wait 3 years for my money to get back, right? And is it worth it? Like, I don't know. Like, it's up to you. Are you better off putting your money into the S&P 500? Are you better off putting it somewhere else where it's going to get 7-10% without all the risk? Depends. But then there's other locations, right, where I have another location that got robbed at, and that location does about say $1,400 a month. And I'm talking about profit. I'm not talking about like gross. I'm talking about profit, right? It takes about $1,400 a month. So one ATM, right, is $2,500. I make $1,400. I'll be profiting back again in like 3-4 months, right? That location, I'm not gonna give up. I'd rather put another $2,500 and I'll wait 3 months and I'll wait in a year. I'll be, positive plus all the money that I've made. That's why you don't want to spend all your money. You want to save some money because things like this happen. So it all depends. It all depends. You have to look at your numbers. You have to look at the numbers of like the machine cost, the cost to repair it, and how much it's making a year, and like is it worth it, and is it worth your time, and is it worth your headache, and like all the risk that comes with it. So just look at the numbers. The numbers tell you whether it's worth it or not. Don't go based on like emotions. Like don't be scared of the fact that okay, like someone robbed into it. Like hello, that's part of like doing this. So in regards of selling the route, right? So we're getting to the final steps of selling the route. I can't really share too much details about like the whole entire thing because kid watches my video. So if you watch these videos, dude, if you're subscribed to this thing, I'm very honest with you, but I'm just kidding. Selling the route, we're pretty much down to the very bones of it. Like a very hopefully like next week we solidify everything. I think I sold it at a fair price when it comes to all of this stuff for somebody that wants to hold this thing long term. A lot of times when people are buying these things, a lot of buyers, all they care about is stability, which is consistency. Like, do these numbers, are they consistent? How long have they been consistent for? Meaning, have the locations been there for over 2-3 years, 4 years, 5 years? If a machine is there for 6 months, it's brand new. If a machine's there for like a year, still new. 2 years and beyond is good. 5 years and beyond is amazing. So that's how you can tell in regards of quality of like location. Same thing with like what kind of shop is it? Is it a tattoo shop, vape shop? All these things also establish like quality because some stores last longer than others. Security, like looking at where the locations are at, is also very important. And in regards of incidents, you can give insurances like guarantees if the buyer really wants it, like in regards of like, okay, this location is gonna last X amount of months, like, but I'm gonna jack up the price if you want security. So there's a bunch of things that you can do to like negotiate. And that's the thing that I've been dealing with like in the last like couple of weeks, and that's why like I didn't post last week because like all of this thing was a mess, and I'm like, all right, like let's chill. Let's get rid of Ventura first because that's what we want to get rid of, and then maybe I'll work on getting rid of like my LA locations. So, in regards of all of this, like myth in regards of like passive income with ATMs, because I don't understand, bro. Like this is what I don't understand with people. People don't realize like a lot of my money comes from like sales in the construction world, but when I tell people that I do sales in the construction world, they like that's boring. And then when I tell them that I do the ATM stuff, for some weird reason their eyes like sparkle up and they're like, oh my god, I've heard of that. And then like because it goes viral and stuff and like reels and stuff, and then they meet someone with like a good amount of locations like myself. And then they're like, oh, and they start asking me so many questions about this stuff, and I give them the real like answers, like not sell them BS like a lot of people on the internet do. And then they are like, okay, maybe it's not that worth it, because it's not, bro. It's not worth it if you're trying to make a lot of money. It's worth it if you're just trying to park your money somewhere and you want somewhere like easy. Like it's a lifestyle business is what I tell people. It's passive to a degree where like my locations in LA, if I really wanted to, I'll probably work them one time a week and it's chilling. Like I'll probably make like $1,500 to $2,000 from them, and it's like it's fine. But it takes time, it takes a lot of capital to run those locations, and then you have all this risk. Like I'm dealing with an ATM right now that I can't seem to fix for the last 3 freaking weeks, and I don't know what's wrong with it, and I'm like, bro, this thing's costing me time and money and headaches, and I hate that. And that's what people don't understand. Like every freaking business has headaches. Every business has like its ups and downs, and there's no such thing as passive income. And if you want passive income, then you better have a bunch of money, because they don't work together. So that's what happened this week. Someone broke into my location. I'm dealing with the sale of the Ventura locations, and construction has been really slow this week. We're still on the fitness journey, and if you guys have been following along and you guys haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're doing, but hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and follow me and follow along this little thing that I'm doing, because this is fun, and you like it, you don't, but at least you learn something, hopefully. And if you guys have any questions, comment below. And next week, hopefully, if the ATMs are sold, then I'll tell you about what happens in the sale and how much I sold it for. I probably won't tell you the number, but I'll tell you, like, a good amount of information and things that you want to look out for when it comes to like buying something, because some people want to get into business, and buying a business from somebody else is the best way to get into it. And this is a cool lifestyle business. Like, if it was up to me, maybe ask me in another 15 years, I'll probably buy a big route from somebody else, especially based on what I know, because I don't think they're going to go anywhere in the next 10, 15 years, but who knows? But it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.